Hello friends, this is Yash, and in this video I'll be sharing my experiences of how I could clear the NET-JRF examination in my very first attempt, and I'll also be sharing some strategies and insights into the exam pattern so that you can also do it as soon as possible. So let's begin with the video. See, every exam has a particular rhythm, style and pattern, right? And we need to decipher it. Now a logical question arises that how do we identify the rhythm, style and pattern? So in the upcoming section of the video, I'll be giving a 5-pronged strategy that will help us to crack this exam. Now the second important point is that we need to address the core demand of the exam. See, as aspirants preparing for different competitive examination, we are often encountered with the problem of knowledge demand dilemma. This is the term which I've coined, and this can be represented with the help of a Venn diagram. So here the outer circle represents the knowledge and the inner circle represents demand. See, knowledge is infinite. There is no limit to it. And I also believe in the Gandhian approach that learning and acquiring knowledge is a lifelong process, right? But adopting a pragmatic approach, I believe that suppose you have devoted, let's say, 6 months or 1 year for this exam. So in that period, you must exclusively focus on the demand of the exam so that you are able to fetch more marks and clear both NET with JRF, right? Now coming to the 5-pronged strategy. So the first pillar of the strategy is decoding the syllabus. See, the examination consists of 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 has 50 questions, each carrying 2 marks, that translates into 100 marks. And there are 10 units. And the beauty of this paper is that the topics are very diverse in nature, and they include variety of topics ranging from teaching aptitude to research aptitude, mathematical reasoning and aptitude, data interpretation is there, ICT, people development, environment. And somewhere I feel that this paper is a great leveler because this is new for everybody. So we do not have a prior knowledge base specifically. So, and also it's the nature of the paper is very generic, right? Now coming to the paper 2. So paper 2 consists of 100 questions, each carrying 2 marks, that translates into 200 marks. And this is a discipline specific paper. So this NET-JRF examination is conducted for more than 80 disciplines, and mine was political science. So this paper requires an in-depth knowledge, and you need to be a subject matter expert to score well in this paper. And otherwise also, if you see that if you have done your graduation in a particular subject, you have done your masters in a particular subject, so the least that one expects from you is that you need to have a very decent knowledge base, and you should at least know the basics of the subject. You should be well versed with the basics of the subject, right? Coming to the second point, analyzing the PYQs. See, I always say that they are key to open the minds of examiner. They are very important to understand the pattern of the paper, and also they help you in getting the hold of important themes, right? If I give you an example from paper 1. Now paper 1 there is a unit called ICT, and see, you will notice that questions are often framed over topics like RAM and ROM, the difference between RAM and ROM, right? Different type of cyber attacks. Now these are common themes and they are repeated time and again. And similarly, if I talk about environment, so you know the importance of UNFCCC conferences, and then we have various important conventions and protocols. Questions are often asked on Montreal Protocol, Rio Conference, Paris Agreement, Stockholm Conference, and let's say International Solar Alliances. So these are the important themes around which questions are built, right? And you need to also understand that the examiner also has a very limited choice. It's not that the basket is very wide. The choices are very limited in a sense, and we'll discuss it further in the video. Secondly, it enables you to navigate through broad contours of the subject matter, right? And it familiarizes you with the exam trend. And also a very important aspect is that there is also an element of predictability. For instance, if you study paper 1, you will know that 5 questions are asked from comprehension. And I always say that you must target 5 on 5 because these questions are very simple and very generic in nature. For instance, और ज़्यादातर क्वेश्चंस में क्या होगा कि जो क्वेश्चंस होंगे द लाइन्स विल बी पिक डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम द पैसेज, तो यू डोंट रिक्वायर अ लॉट ऑफ एप्लीकेशन ऑफ माइंड ऑल्सो. बस अगर आपने पैसेज थोड़ा समझ लिया देन यू कैन सॉल्व देम. सो यू शुड टारगेट 5 on 5 here, right? Now similar comes data interpretation. Now you know that 5 questions will be on data interpretation and you must target 5 on 5. Although I believe that DI is a bit on a tougher side because it includes various type of questions like fractions, percentage change, number system, averages. So sometimes, and also there is another interpretative aspect also. For instance, suppose there is a bar graph or there's a pie chart. If you are able to interpret the data, then your job is half done there only. But if you are unable to interpret, then it's also very likely that you will get 0 on 5. So I always say that this is a zero sum game. Generally it happens that either you get 5 on 5, and if you're not able to understand the data, you're not able to interpret it, then you get 0 on 5. But still, our target should be to get 5 on 5. Now coming to the third point, paper 1. Paper 1 is a distinguishing factor, right? And I always believe in this. It has a wide topic coverage, which we also discussed previously, ranging from teaching aptitude to ICT to environment, right? And it's better to focus on subtopics, make micro notes. See, the beauty of this paper is that the syllabus is very exhaustive. All the topics are given in grade, so it's always good strategy to make micro notes on them. And I believe that internet could be the best resource. Although I purchased a 500 rupees book also, but I didn't find of any use and I won't recommend it. See, on internet you have a great plethora of resources. They're very good quality material out there, and you can use them to understand topics like sampling, variables, like independent dependent variables, now research methodology. So internet can come in handy, right? It can be of great use. And also I believe if you want, you can purchase some book which are popular in market, but I believe they're bulky also and they're not very much aligned with the exam pattern. Now third point, align your notes with PYQs, and this is very important. See, it's very important to be on the same page as that of examiner. Now suppose you are moving in the north direction, right? And the examiner is thinking in the south direction. So you will not get marks. It's obvious you will miss the main points. Whereas if you are able to, if you are on the same page with that of examiner, if there is convergence between your thinking and PYQ, then it's highly likely that you will reach the equilibrium point and you will obviously fetch you with more marks, right? Now coming to the fourth point, for humanities student, don't fear maths, reasoning. They're really scoring, provided that you practice them regularly. Taking out 45 minutes daily will really boost your score. See, if you are practicing maths daily for 30 to 40 minutes, 45 minutes, I believe that you have a very great chance of scoring good marks. And for instance, I am also a humanities student, and around 18-19 questions were asked combining maths and reasoning, and I got only one wrong. All were correct. It's not that I did something extraordinary. It's just there is no magic in it. I just practiced maths regularly. That's all. And you must focus on easy questions. See, there are many easy questions, believe me. See, questions like blood relations, they're very easy, pretty easy questions. Direction sense, again easy questions. Venn diagram can also be managed. And coding, decoding, they are the easiest of them all. And in Venn diagram also, if you are able to understand Venn diagram, it will also boost your reasoning exponentially. See, Venn diagram अगर आप ढंग से समझ लो तो जो आपकी रीजनिंग पावर है अपने डिसिप्लिन में भी, that also improves to a great extent. And I always say that this paper is a jewel in the crown, and their performance in this paper will determine whether you will qualify the NET with JRF or not. This is the distinguishing factor as we discussed. So I'll give you a live demonstration also. Let's take the topic of coding, decoding, right? Now there is no trick in this topic. The only thing you need to do is to learn the alphabets from A to Z. Now there are two options. See, first option is that you learn manually. Either you can write on the rough sheet like A to Z and then number them 1, 2, 3, 4 till 26. Or a smart approach would be, that would also be time-saving approach, would be to learn these to learn these alphabets through mnemonics. For instance, I'll discuss some of them. You can easily find them of Google. मैं थोड़े बहुत discuss करता हूँ. First is E-Jyoti. Now E-Jyoti, E has the number 5, A, B, C, D, E, 5. Alphabet G has a number 10, O has 15, T has 20, Y has 25, right? So E-Jyoti, so यहाँ पे difference 5 का हो रहा है, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. In this way you can learn it. This is a very popular mnemonics, right? CMW. Now BMW is a popular automobile manufacturer, तो मैंने उसको CMW कर दिया. और CMW में क्या है कि C का is 3, M is 13, W is 23. 3, 13, 23. This way you can learn it. And V is 22. See, V is here learn it like victory sign. So victory sign is a two-finger sign. You will see that if a sports person, he has won some Olympic medal and he returns to the country, then he'll show the victory sign. Or say a politician who has won some election, so he shows a victory sign, the two-finger sign. So by two finger, you can remember it as 22. Now the fourth is the I love you. I stands for 9, the number is 9, L is 12, and U is 21. Now this is important for you, not only for your examination purpose, but also it could come handy in your personal life also. So learn this I love you, 9, 12, 21. Now let's take a question. Now this question was asked in December 2023. Certain coding language, Aman is coded as 29, right? Raman is coded as 47. How Sham will be coded in that language? So there are no trick in this question. You just simply need to write Aman and write number and allocate number to each alphabet. For instance, A has number 1, M has 13, here also M is 13, you can take it from here also. A 1, N 14, right? Now you can add all of them. 14, 28, 29, and the number is 29. So if you are adding all of them, the number is coming 29. So the code is being satisfied. Aman is coded as 29. Now you have to see whether this applies to Raman as well. It's like again the drill is same, right? Raman, R is 18, A is 1, M 13, A 1, N 14. Add them all. 18, 20, 30, 40, 44, 47, right? 47 is coming. And it is coded 47. So now both the equations are being satisfied. Both are being, see what both applies to both will also apply to Sham because the code is same, right? So similarly Sham, write the number of alphabets. S has the numeric value of 19, H 8, A 1, M 13. Add them. 19, 27, 28, 41, right? So the answer comes 41. So these are pretty simple questions. अब आप मुझे ये बताओ इसमें difficult क्या है? कुछ नहीं difficult है. The only thing you need to do is to learn the alphabets. And even if you're not learning it, you are doing it manually, then also you can solve the question, but that would be a bit time consuming. If you are learning it and you are able to solve in less time, then you can devote this additional time to some important questions like DI questions, which are a bit calculative, right? Now fourth point is paper 2. See, as we discussed that it is conducted in many disciplines and mine was political science. So I'll talk about it. See, broadly speaking, political science is divided into 5 broad subtopics, right? First is political theory. Second is Indian government and politics. Third is comparative politics. Fourth is international relation. And fifth is public administration. Now, many places public administration also enjoys an autonomous existence, but here we consider it as a part of political science. And from these 5 things, these 10 units are derived, right? These are the 10 units. You can read them in detail. In the syllabus is quite detailed. You can download the official PDF and you can see the syllabus in detail. Now, I'll try to cover the broad themes that are asked here. So the most important question is on Thinker's Book and Year. So this is a perennial questions. Every year at least you will find 5 questions from this Thinker's Book and Year thing. For instance, the questions could be like who wrote the book Ideas and Issues in Public Administration. So you should know that it was written by Dwight Waldo, right? And similarly, the book could be like who published the book, who wrote the book The Power Elites. So you should know that C. Wright Mills wrote it, and you should also know the year that it was published in 1956. The year also holds very great importance here. So since at least 5 to 6 questions are asked, so I would recommend you to make a separate A4 size sheet और जिसमें भी notes बना रहे हो उसके अंदर एक separate page बना लो इन पे और you can cover, see if you will cover the books they'll come around to be 100 books, right? और उन 100 books में से 5-6 question पूछेंगे. So this way you can cover this and you can easily score 10-15 marks from here, right? And there are certain favorite topics. If you look at the PYQs, you will realize that there are certain favorite topics. One such topic is John Rawls. It's very important from when we see from the perspective of his views on justice. Now in John Rawls, you should know that he published his book, A Theory of Justice in 1971. And also you should be familiar with basic John Rawls theory, like you should understand the keywords like say original position, veil of ignorance, primary goods, maximum principle, difference principle. So all these you should have a basic knowledge. And you should also understand that criticism of roles are also very important. For instance, the libertarian perspective, we have the book of Robert Nozick called Anarchy, State and Utopia, published in 1974, where he gave the entitlement theory, which is again very important question, which is entitlement theory is often asked in the paper, right? Now we also need to focus on concepts. See, there are certain concepts which are very favorite to the examiner. For instance, the constructive conflict concept given by Mary P. Follett. This is often asked in one way or the other. And in fact, Mary P. Follett in general in herself is very important because she had a very progressive view during her times related to various aspects of organization, right? And also there are very many other concepts like circulation of elites concept was given by Pareto. Then you had the polyarchical democracy that was given by Robert Dahl. So these are important. Now facts are important, like the year of establishment of international bodies for instance World Bank, UN, WTO, IMF, and the G20. So all these facts, you need to be very thorough with your facts, right? And now the fifth point is that be thorough with Indian polity, like constitutional provision related to governor and president. These are very important. I would recommend that you may refer to Lakshmikant because the topics are covered beautifully in a very thematic and a logical manner. So that will also help you in covering the topics effectively, right? Fifth point, a scoop of luck. See, a luck is always required in whatever human endeavor you are engaging in or whatever you are trying to it. There is always an element of luck there, right? But there's also a saying, the harder I work, the luckier I get. See, at the same time, I believe that luck functions like an additional factor. The foundation, the premise is always your hard work. For instance, if I say, let's take an example. See, suppose there's a cake, right? Now the bread is your hard work. It's the hard work. And the icing, the cream part is the luck. Now the luck will become important only when you have a foundation right. If you do not have the premise, if you have not worked hard, then you cannot exclusively rely on the luck factor to sail through. I am of the firm belief that will not happen, right? Now here are certain key points, some generic points. See, consistency is the key. It's very important. Now it may happen that you are studying only 2-3 hours a day, that's fine, but you should study every day. Second, pursuing your hobbies. It's very important. It can be anything from sports to music to painting, anything, whatever you love doing, you should pursue, you should take some time out. And third is managing sound physical, emotional, and mental health. The concept of holistic health that given by WHO, I believe that is very important, especially for students preparing for competitive exam, right? Now let's come to my scorecard. So many of you would be interested in looking at my scorecard. So this was my performance. This was the UGC NET 2023 and the result was announced this year only in January. In paper 1 I scored 80 marks. I got 40 correct and this is a very good score. See, even if you score 70 marks, 70 plus, it's a good score. अगर आपके 35 भी ठीक 50 क्वेश्चन में से 35 ठीक हो रहे हैं तो it's very good score. But here I got 40 correct. And see, this is the role of this paper 1. I always say that this is the distinguishing factor. अगर आप इसमें अच्छे marks ले आओगे तो you will make it to JRF very easily, right? And paper 2 I scored 136, which are again good marks. Cumulatively the score is 216 and the result is that I qualified for JRF and assistant professor in my first attempt, right? Now thank you guys for checking out this video. I hope it was of some help in easing your NET-JRF journey. And if you have any doubts related to the following, you can reach me out. First is UPSC Civil Services, Civil Examination. See, I have extensive experience of both prelims and mains examination and I'll make a separate video on this and I'll also publish my marks. And second is NET-JRF, वो मैंने detail में इस video में बताई दिया है, both paper 1 paper 2. If you want a detailed video on any subtopic also, you can tell me, I'll make no issue. Third is discipline of political science. If you are facing any issue in any topic, you can mail me, I'll try making a video on that, right? And this is my email ID. And if you have any suggestion also, then also you can mail me at excelandachieve97@gmail.com. So you can reach out to me at this website, right? If you need my assistance, any day I'll try my best to reply. So thank you guys for being such a patient audience and hopefully I'll see you soon. Goodbye.